Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, this episode offered very little, but I'll tell you what, the end, it felt so soapy. The minute I hit record, even before I was just like, at the end of the episode, I was just like, what? You know what I'm talking about if you watch the episode. Um, Now it starts off with Drew running, doing this whole campaign and the speech and coming to the Quartermain's house and everyone gathered around. You got Sam, you got Dante, you have Olivia, you have Sasha, Drew, Michael, um, Willow, Nina, Portia, Ned, Mac, Felicia, um, Cody eventually, no, Cody's not there. He's at the main house of James, but everyone's there and they're talking up Drew. McConkey's there. Nothing really interesting goes on for this part. But there's a point where Loris and they're talking about Heather Weber going free. I think Ned brung it up, and I don't exactly remember who was in it they're trying to shut it down, but Loris and they're talking about how, yeah, she's going to be, well, they're looking into her case because of the metal poisoning. Mac is like, are you serious? Because she got a lot of dead bodies. You seem to telling me just metal just made her do all sorts of crazy lunatic stuff. Push over here says push leaves, right? And at some point, I think maybe it was Jordan that was not there. Hey, let's just kind of just chill out with that. But at some point, she did apologize to Felicia for bringing it up and kind of just bringing the party mood down. And eventually, after Portia talks to Curtis, she goes back and she talks to Laura again. She's like, so you want to make sure that she doesn't get out, right? You want to make sure that the citizens of Port Charles are safe, right? Um, and, she does her whole politician talk and being all like, well, you were a doctor, so, I mean, you would know better than anyone. And it's just, honestly, to tell you the truth, it's the same BS that just comes out of her mouth. And Portia's not trying to hear it. She's not trying to hear it. And I don't know if she said this in the previews or she said this to Jordan or Curtis, but she was like, yo, that deranged lunatic was practically trying to kill my daughter. And now she's there talking to the woman who wants to reopen her case and just set her free because, oh, it's metal poisoning and blah, 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 blah. And I get that from a medical standpoint. And on some level, I get where she's there saying, I'm trying to be fair to everyone. But I'm like, bro, this is a bad look. Okay? This woman literally killed and hurt a bunch of people. And now you're sitting there being like, oh, let's open the case. Like, let somebody else do that. Somebody else wants to open up the case, that's fine. You know the type of damage that she done. Seriously, there's. I'm sorry, but I can't sit there and I'm usually on. I always sit there and try to see both sides, but at the end of the day, sometimes rare, but sometimes you gotta sit there and pick a side. And you on the wrong side, boo. You on the wrong side. Now, James is bonding with Cody, and at some point, Matt comes in there. They're talking and they're bonding over the outdoors and everything, um, horses and all sorts of stuff that people do apparently when they're outdoors, right? So they go, they're at the fireworks, and Mac is all like super happy about seeing these fireworks, and I'm like, I don't think the fireworks change from when you were a kid to when you were an adult to when you're a granddad. I don't think they changed that much. Dude was getting super hyped over those fireworks. And then out of nowhere, Cody's like, I'm your son. Okay, so that's big real. That's how he delivers the news. Wasn't caught, didn't just slip up at a party. He didn't just, Mac didn't over just hear it from somebody else and maybe confronted him. No, he just blurts it out because it's fireworks and, they bonded. And that's a good enough reason to sit there and tell the truth now. Even though he was worried about jail time, but okay, sure. So that happens. Sam is talking to Sam was talking to Drew. In the previews, they got it really wrong. I think they made it seem like Sam was super pissed off at Drew, and she's not pissed off. She's kind of just like, all right, it's whatever at this point. I mean, you kind of dumped it on me at the last minute, but I'm not gonna bother to sit there and stretch out my lungs to be yelling at you and stuff. I mean, yeah, the blowback of you being a public figure may come back and hurt Scout in some ways. Why don't you just call her Emily? I really hate that name. I really, really, really hate that goddamn name. It's the name of a dog, okay? Her first name is Emily. Why don't we just call her that? Why do we keep calling her Scout for? Why is that a thing? Can we not make that a thing? I know it's like a pet peeve, but it's. Anyway, there's one point where she's like, how did I pretty much pick men? Because he's going to be in DC. He's not going to really be seeing his daughter as much. It's just like, how did I sit there and pick two men that don't prioritize their children? I mean, on some level, I can't blame her for that. I can't. On paper, they seem like good people. With Jason, you knew what you were getting into, so Boo Boo the Fool, I don't want to hear it. With Drew, I like a good person on paper. So, I don't know. Work it out. Um, and Dante's just there listening and being supportive, I guess. Um, some conversation with Tracy and McConkey doesn't really go anywhere. They do talk about Monica being laid up, and she's been laid up for a while now. Yeah, laid up in that damn attic with the rest of the missing people like Taggart, but whatever. Uh, now. Oh, and Nina talks to Sasha. Again, is kind of a. Oh, Sasha found out. Sasha knew. When they were talking, she was like, okay, yeah, I see this whole vibe thing with you and Drew. And basically just be careful. You just got a relationship. You don't, I understand it's just a little bump in the ground right now, but, it can end in disaster. So she gives her a bit of a heads up, a warning. Willow, because Nina just showed up out of nowhere, and McConkey was like, "Oh yeah, it was Nina that gave Drew the idea to run and everything." And Tracy was like, "Who invited you?" Because part of me, when I saw her, I was like, she walked in and she had that look like you knew damn well that you weren't really invited there. What the hell are you doing showing up there? And so she said that she was like, what are you doing here? And then she made another comment about effing up his life, about effing up Drew's life. Um, Willow went to go check on her, make sure she was okay. I'm pretty sure when she finds out about both of them manipulating her, I don't know how she's gonna feel. Maybe they'll just blow past it. Who knows? Now we get to the point. I saw something that my chat has been saying. My live stream chat has been snipped saying for a while, and I didn't see it for a couple of reasons. Maybe because it's like I saw Drew as more of a father figure to Willow, but they're talking. Drew is apologizing to leaving her to go to DC to be a politician while she's doing some sort of campaign for some cancer cause that I can't remember. But they're talking, and there's one point she's like, "Yeah, I do kind of miss the Scrubs a little bit." And Drew's like, he says something along the lines of, you will win a beauty contest even if you were in Scrubs. Now he's given her compliments before, He's given her compliments before. The look on her face when she had that compliment was like, oh, oh yeah, 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 you're about to go there? Next thing you know, they're talking and she's all like, I'm gonna miss you, this, that, and the third. And then they just start kissing. And I'm like, what? And Sasha, she's just walking around for some odd reason. And she just sees both of them just kissing. And I'm like, oh, that's some soapy shit. That's some soapy shit right there. And I'm here for it. And I know I can already sit there and see some of the comments. Ew, that's gross because of a bunch of reasons. Cool. That's fine. That's some scandalous soap shit. And that I'm here for. I think that was actually probably the best part. The best part is probably going to be the part that's going to probably turn a lot of people's stomachs and be all, I don't know, whatever. I mean, my whole thing is like, Willow needs something. Willow needs this. Okay, the last time I was actually this interested in Willow is when she fought Nell. When Nell came in there to get Wiley. That was the last time I was interested in Willow. And when she was dying of cancer, I mean, obviously it's going to be sad. So it's like I felt something, but it wasn't. It wasn't excitement. It wasn't like, oh my goodness. And that was a while ago. Okay, that was years ago. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That was probably the best. That woke me up. Okay, that woke me up in an episode where it's like you just had a lot of people. They're all kind of just hanging out at the stables, and it almost kind of reminded me of that outing that they had, whatever it was, with the Quartermains. And they did it for like maybe about 2 or 3 days. I'm just like, there was parts you can pick from it that was interesting. But as a whole, them just kind of just all hanging out, it was just like, okay, I can kind of do without this part. I don't know if I should mention this part. I may forget this part. And that's sort of the same thing, except for that part. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. Tonight, everything goes well. I'm going to be doing a live stream with James Lott Jr. Y'all know him as JLG Media. So he's going to be on the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're talking about all sorts of different stuff, content creating, drama, all that good stuff. But this week we got a lot to talk about. we got a lot to talk about. So definitely support James, obviously coming on the channel. Support his channel. Come through. It's gonna be a great conversation. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.